Welcome, everyone. Today we are going deep. We're stepping into a vision from the ancient book of Zohar, a mystical blueprint that, honestly, claims to reveal the hidden mechanics of creation itself. We're going to explore a cosmic well of light, buried deep under the desert sands, trace its energy back to a source that exists beyond existence, and discover how this ancient map, well, it isn't just about the cosmos. It's about the very structure of our own souls. So let's begin. What's so powerful is how this text begins. It doesn't start with a law or a story or a history lesson. It starts with this incredibly intimate address, beloved sons of the supernal world. It's an invitation right from the get-go. The Zohar is telling us that what's about to be shared isn't for a casual listener. It's for those who are actively searching, who want to understand the inner dimensions. This line, it's a doorway, and we're being invited to step through it, to witness a sacred mystery about to unfold. Okay, so where do we even begin this journey? Well, we start not with an abstract concept, but with a vision. Before we can even begin to understand the architecture of reality, the Zohar says we have to see the stage first. It wants to burn an image onto our souls, the very landscape where this whole cosmic drama takes place. So let's just build this image together right now in our mind's eye. I want you to picture a vast desert. The sun has just melted below the horizon. The air is still, almost holding its breath. There's nothing around you but endless sand and a darkening sky. But then, you sense something, not with your eyes, but with a deeper part of you. Beneath the surface, hidden from sight, something is happening. A soft, internal glow is pulsing from deep within the earth. It's not fire. It feels like a living, conscious light. It's a quiet, potent energy, just waiting. This hidden source, it has a name, Be'er Sheva. Now, literally, that means the well of seven, but we've got to completely shift how we think about this. This is not some oasis of water for a thirsty traveler in the desert. No, this is a reservoir of pure divine consciousness. It's a nexus point of living light. You can think of it as the great repository where all the creative forces that build reality are gathered and stored. And this vision, it isn't just some static image. It's dynamic. It's alive. Imagine these shimmering channels, like conduits of pure light, descending from some unseen spiritual height. They're piercing the veil of our physical world and pouring their energy directly into this underground reservoir. And then, here comes the most important part of the whole vision. From the very heart of this glowing well, a figure emerges. He's not arriving at the well, he is coming out of it. This figure is Jacob. And his emergence is the first clue that he's not just a visitor here, he is its living, breathing expression. So this incredible vision, it just leaves you with a ton of questions, right? What exactly is this well in the grand scheme of things? And all this light that's filling it, where in the world is it coming from? What's its ultimate source? And why Jacob? What does his emergence from the well mean for his journey? And maybe more importantly, what does it mean for ours? Answering these questions, well, that's what the rest of our journey today is all about. To understand the well, we can't actually start at the well. It's counterintuitive, I know. We have to trace those channels of light all the way back to their absolute origin. We have to go beyond creation, beyond thought, beyond even the first hint of light to what the mystics call the ultimate source code of all reality. The ultimate source has this mind-bending name, Ayin, which literally translates to nothingness. But this isn't an empty void, not at all. It is a nothingness so infinitely full of potential that no word, no thought, no container we can imagine could ever define it. It's everything before it became anything. It's called the concealed upper will, or a state of pure, undifferentiated unity before the very first impulse of creation. It is the ultimate mystery, the silent, unmanifest source from which all being, all light, and all existence has to spring. So how do you get something from nothing? Well, the mystics teach us that the secret is baked right into the letters of the word Ayin itself. Aleph, Yud, Nun. It all begins with step 1, Aleph. This corresponds to Keter, the crown. Think of this as the first singular spark of will within that infinite potential, a point so fine it's almost dimensionless. Then, from that spark comes step 2, Yud, which represents Chochmah, or wisdom. This is the first flash of a pure idea, a seed of insight, just expanding out from that initial point. And finally, step 3 is Nun, representing Binah, or understanding. The letter Nun acts like a vessel or a womb. It takes that raw flash of insight from Chochmah and gives it shape and structure and dimension. This three-step flow, from will to insight to structure, is the fundamental sequence of all creation. It's the cosmic blueprint. Okay, to bring this down to our world, let's use a modern analogy that we can all get our heads around. Think of Ein as a hidden root server. It's the ultimate source code generator for the entire operating system of reality. But it operates completely beyond the network, totally unseen and inaccessible to any user. The flow of emanation we just talked about, the Aleph, Yud, and Nun, that's like a raw, encrypted data stream. It's the fundamental code of existence flowing from that server. It is pure information, but it's not in a usable form yet. It needs to be routed and decrypted and organized before it can run any applications. All right, so if Ein is the hidden server generating the source code, where does that encrypted data stream actually go? It flows from that supernal blueprint of Keter, Chochmah, and Binah down into a series of attributes that are going to shape our reality. And this brings us right back to our vision in the desert. That data stream is now arriving at its central hub, the distribution node that gathers all this divine energy and gets it ready for manifestation. We are now arriving at the well. Be'er Sheva, the well of seven, is the mystical code word for the Sephirah of Malchut, which means kingdom. Malchut is the last of the 10 Sephirot. It's the culmination of the entire divine flow. It's considered the great feminine principle, the ultimate receiver. You can think of it like a cosmic womb or fertile ground. Or, sticking with our tech analogy, it's the central database where all the different streams of divine energy are gathered, integrated, and then manifested into the physical world. And that name, the Well of Seven. Why seven? This is the absolute key. Because while the blueprint was designed up in the 3 supernal sephirot we just talked about, the actual building of reality is done through the next 7. Malchut, the well, is the final receptacle for the divine influx flowing from these 7 lower sephirot. These are the 7 attributes of emotion and action that make up the building blocks of our created reality. That number 7 is the secret to its function. So what's actually pouring into this well? It's this incredible cocktail of divine energies, this dynamic interplay. It receives the expansive, boundless flow of loving kindness from Chesed, and at the exact same time, the focused, disciplined strength of Gevurah. It receives the perfect balance and beauty of Tiferet, which harmonizes those two opposites. Then it takes in the energies of endurance from Netzah and splendor from Had. And all of these distinct, even contradictory forces are channeled through the foundation of Yesod directly into the well, into Malchut. Its main job is to contain all of these forces, expansion and contraction, love and discipline, and integrate them into one single cohesive reality. And here's a really cool, subtle detail that the texts point out. It's fascinating. Sometimes Malchut is called a Be'er, which means a well. This is its receptive state when it's being filled by that divine flow from above. But once it's full, its very nature changes. It becomes a Be'erah, a wellspring. It literally transforms from a passive receiver into an active giver. It becomes a source of sustenance for all the lower worlds. It doesn't just hold the light, it radiates it outward. So how does all this energy get from point A to point B? From the superneurals down to the well. The texts describe 32 mystical pathways of wisdom called the Netevot. Think of them as the fiber optic cables connecting the root server to the central database, and connecting all the nodes in between. And they aren't just generic cables. Each one carries a specific quality of energy. They have these amazing, evocative names like the concealed intelligence, the scintillating intelligence, or the intelligence of will. Each one is a distinct channel that contributes to the rich, complex tapestry held within the well. Okay, so we've explored the hidden source code and the central database. But now we have to bring this huge abstract cosmology down to Earth. Because this entire system, it isn't just a theoretical model. It's designed to be interfaced with. And this is where Jacob finally enters the story, not just as some historical figure, but as the living embodiment of the perfected human soul. He is, for lack of a better term, the ultimate user interface. So when the Torah says that famous line, "And Jacob went out from Be'er Sheva," the Zohar basically screams at us to read this on a much, much deeper level. He isn't just leaving a town in the desert. He is emerging from the cosmic well itself, from Malchut. He is a soul that has been completely formed within this nexus of divine energies, and now he's being sent out on a mission into the world, to a place called Haran, which is mystically associated with judgment and limitation. He's being sent to a place that needs to be fixed. So Jacob's role, really, is to be the living conduit. He's the user interface for this whole cosmic operating system. He emerges from the well, already fully integrated with its sevenfold light. His entire life's journey from that point on is about drawing sustenance from this hidden source and then actively channeling that harmonized light into the broken, disconnected parts of the world. He's the bridge between the hidden world of the Sephirot and the manifest world of our human experience. And if you need any more proof, check this out. This is where it gets absolutely incredible. The numerical value, the gematria, of Jacob's name in Hebrew, Yaakov, is 182. Okay, so what? Well, that number is exactly 7 times 26. And 26 is the numerical value of the ineffable 4-letter name of God. So Jacob's very name encodes his entire essence. He is the vessel for 7 distinct expressions of the divine. He is the living embodiment of the sevenfold flow of the Well of Seven. In the world of mystical mathematics, this isn't a coincidence. It's his job description. Okay, I know this is a lot. It's a huge, complex system. You've got the root source of nothingness, the emanations, the pathways, the 7 streams, the well that receives and then gives, and then the human conduit. So to help us wrap our heads around all of it, we can look at it through a couple of different models, different ways to visualize this cosmic operating system, tailored for different ways of thinking. All right, first up, let's go into video game mode. Imagine the entire game world is secretly powered by a hidden energy well deep underground. The ultimate quest in the game is to find 3 hidden ancient symbols, Aleph, Yud, and Nun. When you bring them together, you unlock an infinite energy source. This energy then flows out through these glowing tracks of 7 different colors, and they power up every level, every character, every item in the game. And Jacob, he's the legendary first player. He's the one who didn't just find the well, he actually emerged from it, fully powered up, ready to bring its light to the darker, unpowered parts of the map. Now, for the more analytical, architectural minds out there, let's switch to the cosmic engineering blueprint. At the highest level, you have a root-level abstraction, Ein, which generates primordial data streams. This raw data is routed via 32 encrypted pathways, the Netivot, to a structured distribution node. That's the well, Be'er. This node, Malchut, functions as a central database and a resource allocator, intelligently distributing energy and information to all the subsidiary systems in creation. And in this model, Jacob represents the perfected endpoint, the user conduit with full read-write permissions, capable not just of receiving data from the source, but of channeling it and even sending feedback that influences the entire network. So, we've journeyed from the infinite source to the human soul. We've seen this system as a video game and as an engineering plan. But this ancient map, it was never meant just for observation. The final, and honestly the most important step, is integration. How do we bring this cosmic flow into our own lives? And this really leaves us with the most important question of all, doesn't it? If Jacob embodies the perfected human soul, a living channel who is plugged into this divine source, what does that mean for us? If his story isn't just ancient history but a template for the human spiritual journey, then how do we become conduits for this flow in our own lives, in our own personal heron? The challenging places that we're sent to illuminate. That is the ultimate question this teaching asks us to live. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.